August 5th, 2025. I'll put the, and this will probably be posted. This will probably be posted around the same day. But Orion's Rift was basically meant to fail from the start. So I'm gonna walk you through why Orion's Rift is now one of the most lifeless, toxic, and most hated games on the Metacritic, made by the same people that made Gorilla Tag.
That's just math, I think.
Gorilla Tag. So Gorilla Tag was made on. Was published on February 21st. Was February 12th, 2021. It came out of early access in January of 2022. And it was, well, one of the best games. It was one of the biggest games on VR. It was the biggest game ever to be released. At least the biggest multiplayer game. And if you don't know what it is, it's a game that consists of tag and different and other game modes, with its main two modes being casual and infection. Which, if you don't know what infection is, here's the definition on screen. Okay, so now that you know what infection is, it also came with many other game modes. But the game just has been lackluster this year, with a lot of people saying its last good year was 2022, 2023, and something 2024. So now let's move on to, well, okay. So Orion's Rift was made by the same creators of Gorilla Tag, which, as you know, is another Axiom. And the creator of Gorilla Tag was Lemming VR. He was actually used to be a pro Echo player, but not anymore. So what he does now is he makes content about he made Gorilla Tag, but in 2023 he thought of a new VR game. This VR game, well, could either be groundbreaking or it could be terrible. This game is called Orion's Rift. Orion's Rift is first thought of in 2023. And it took 2 years of development just to be released in open early access. But what about closed early access? The biggest VR content creators and just some players that volunteered came into Orion's Rift's closed early access in mid to late 2024. And well, this would be the start of badness. This would be the first start of the game's downfall. People would find this game very fun. They said it had a lot of potential, but, well, that would be very wrong. That is when the groundbreaking day of February 25th, 2025 would come. This would be, well, groundbreaking game. There was a cool game mode that would be known as Drift Ball. And well, this would break the game and have competitive esports. Okay. Now, how did the game get its downfall? Well, the game, first of all, the first biggest issue is its in-game toxicity. This is supposedly going to be fixed in summer, even though the summertime is ticking down, and then they have until about October or September, arguably, to fix this game. And well, that is the first problem. A lot of people are really unnice in this game, and well, this game has a big toxicity problem. If you don't know what toxicity is when a player is being rude slash hurtful to another player. And well, this can be a big problem for many. Well, you may be like, well, how is this a problem? Well, this is for problem 2. Problem 2 is, well, the moderation. Sure, they're going to be adding voice moderation, but most likely that's probably not even going to really be the best thing for them to do. So yeah, that is an unkept promise. That is the biggest thing. They were supposed to bring it recently, but well, they're just adding a bunch of junky cosmetics and, well, unwanted updates. And well, the moderation is terrible. Some people have been really rude, saying bad words and blah blah blah. Well, they haven't gotten banned for it. Well, pushing a moderator in-game has gotten some people reported. No joke, this is a big problem. Sure, pushing a moderator is bad, and that could be seen as disrespectful. But that's not what moderators should be focusing on. Moderators should be focusing on the in-game toxicity, and that leads into my next big problem, which that would be, well, the moderators being pretty sucky. The moderators that they hire are not that good. Sure, we have some decent moderators, like Axolotl VR, which I will link his channel in the description, but we don't really have any actually good moderators. And you may be like, well, Baguette, why does that matter? Well, little Timmy, I will answer that. It's because, well, this game is so toxic. Every single VR game has been getting pretty toxic. Besides one game, which is known as Yeeps. That game still has a decent amount of toxicity in it. But compared to Gorilla Tag, Orion Drift, DigiGods, and many other very popular games, this game is none other being part of the toxic, being part of one of the most toxic games. You may or may not believe this, but this game is more toxic than Gorilla Tag. If you've been ever in a Gorilla Tag competitive ranked match, no matter when GTC was still a thing, or in Gorilla Tag's no signups game mode, you've probably seen some type of toxicity. Maybe you should mute that player, but that's still not enough. But Orion Drift is like that, just 100 times worse. And well, that doesn't help. So now let's move on to our next problem. This next problem was impacting the game as the same. The updates. The first 3 updates were good. Our first update, we had Capture the Beacon, and then I forgot what our second update is. I'll just put it on screen. And then for our second update, I'm pretty sure it was like Drift Blitz or something. Yeah, Drift Blitz sounds correct. Then update 3 was Parkour. It was a pretty sick update. Those 3 were really well received. But update 4 is when stuff started to go downhill. As of recording this, there are 5 updates. There was an unlocked feature where they replaced the way rail, which if you don't know, that was just a zip line, with just a moving platform. They've improved it a lot, but still, it's not anything close to the way rail. They really should have kept the way rail and added the moving walkway just to make it available for every type of player. If it's too hard for you to move with the way rail, then just use the moving platform. Then if you're a pro of the game, use the way rail. And the thing is, the way rail wasn't even that hard to operate. If you ever played Gorilla Tag, Yeeps, Animal Company probably, you would probably know that it's basically not even hard to, it's not even hard if you know what you're doing in VR. And well, that is one of the biggest, that's one of the most controversial updates that has happened. This update is so controversial to the point where people are quitting the game. What makes this update so controversial? Well, I will tell you. This update had a little thing where you could teleport to in-game matches. Okay? What's so bad about that, you're wondering? Well, I will tell you. The thing that's so bad about that is that, well, there's really nothing. The thing that's bad about that is that, well, players were being kicked out of their own games when they were in the middle of them. Maybe if the driftball match was starting, it would have been a little more acceptable. But nope, it's not acceptable at all. To be a matter of fact, it's actually not, I don't feel like it's acceptable in any way to drift, to kick out players.
Look who just walked in. I mean,
And now,
I don't actually know who
this
you are,
was
but I
for
like your confidence.
the newest thing.
What do you say we amp it up even more?
This
With the
thing
tune-up at
made the
Spark
game
Supplies.
so controversial. This was, well, the cosmetics. They've always had kind of bad cosmetics. With bundles costing $30, Driftium is overpriced, and so much more. It's not good for the community. With them overcharging like crazy, it makes the game unplayable. If you want to just be dripped out, your best bet of paying for stuff is over 3 cosmetics for $10, aka the Founders or Supporters Pack, which will cost a lot of money. It's $10. You may be like, well, that's not bad. Well,
Good
we'll
morning,
not
afternoon,
factor
or
in the other
evening.
ones. It's a
Whatever
bit
it is
better.
in deep space.
$30
Welcome
for
to
the
Sparks.
for
Take your time looking
for
around.
bundles every
We're
update.
here
Then
all day.
Driftium is what you're
And
price.
seriously,
1,000
who can tell the
Driftium
difference?
for $5 is actually insane. And another thing is they're hiding the prices. As you can see, they are hiding the prices of Driftium. That makes kids want to buy it. But that's not our main problem. Our biggest problem here is, well, just that it's very, very tough to get. And well, that's not bundle may seem cheap, but factor in Gorilla Tags bundle. Factor in Gorilla Tags bundle. Gorilla Tags bundle only costs $10. And this early access bundle, well, you got tons of cosmetics and 3 exclusive cosmetics. Well, this you only get 3 exclusive cosmetics and, well, nothing else. This makes a lot of players go really pissed. So, what does this mean for Orion Drift's future? Well, in the modern game, it's probably going to die out in the next 2 years at most. I'm not surprised if it doesn't even reach its 1 year mark. With many, many controversies happening, I couldn't even cover them in this video. I really hope this made you guys more aware of why Orion Drift failed despite being made by the biggest company in VR.